Hey guys, the top 10 here, and today I'll be showing you the top 10 richest cities in the world. So for this month, I've sort of been doing a city thing. Last week I did the top 10 biggest cities, and this week I'm doing the richest cities. Okay, so let's start off at number 10 with Shanghai. And Shanghai was mentioned in the last video at our number 3 spot with the biggest city. It's the third biggest city in the world. I'm going to pull up a few pictures of Shanghai, which you might recognize from if you watched my previous episode. So Shanghai has a GDP, and GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product, which is technically how much money they're worth. $516.5 billion is how much GDP Shanghai has. So, coming in at number 9, we have Moscow. And Moscow is the capital of Russia. This was not on our previous list, and Russia, as you should know, is the biggest city in the world. And Moscow is famous for their very twirly, as you see, they're very colorful and twirly rooftops, and it's like if you look at this picture, this looks normal, but then this looks like it's in Candyland. But no, this is real Russia. It's called Red Square. Moscow has a GDP of $520.1 billion. So this is not a full $1,000 billion. That's confusing. Never mind. Anyway, Moscow is a very beautiful city, and St. Petersburg actually used to be the capital of Russia. So not until recently, I'm not sure how recently, that it changed. So coming in at number 8, we have Chicago. Chicago, Illinois, USA. So Chicago's located in Illinois. Not sure if it's the capital. I don't study U.S. capitals because I'm not American. I'm a proud Canadian. Chicago has a GDP of $524.6 billion, and this is overlooking John Hancock Center. Oh, this picture's taken from the John Hancock Center. It just says right there. But Chicago is a very beautiful city. Its nickname is the Windy City. Probably because it gets windy there. And so, coming in at number 7 is Osaka. Oh, no, not Osaka. Osaka, Japan, which is a city outside of Tokyo. So, Osaka is a small city with a large GDP. This is an aerial view of Osaka. Osaka has a GDP of $654.8 billion, which is really good for a city that most people might not look. And Osaka is on the southern island of Japan. So if you get up in Japan, there's this island and there's this island. It's on an island, I can tell you that. So there's nothing I can really say about Osaka anymore because I don't really. Anyway, coming in at number 6, we have Paris. Paris wasn't mentioned in the last video, and not a lot of these have been, just Shanghai. But Paris is nicknamed the Romance City, and it has its famous landmark, the Eiffel Tower. And I might be mentioning this in a future episode, so in a future video. So remember this. Paris has a GDP of $669.2 billion, which is really good. And as you can see, Paris is very brightly lit by the Eiffel Tower and by their hotel or whatever, these high building lights. And so, coming in at number 5, this video is a little bit quicker because there's nothing really to talk about, just the GDP, but London, which there's a lot to say about London. It's the capital of England. There was actually a fire recently in London. in London. I'll just take a picture right here. This is Big Ben, which is the Queen's clock, and then there's the Parliament building, and then they're also known for the Tower Bridge and the Ferris wheel, the big Ferris wheel, and also their double-decker buses are famous famous things that happen in London. So coming in at number 4, which was mentioned, the second city that was mentioned on the previous video is Seoul, which was our number 10 spot in the previous video. Which had Seoul had 605.2 square kilometers of space, and Seoul has a GDP of $731.2 billion. And as you've already known, Seoul is the capital of South Korea, and it is a very beautiful city. I can take out a few pictures of it. And this was the picture I used last time. But then there's the Lot Tower, and there's all these very beautiful colorfully lit buildings. So coming in at number 3, we have Los Angeles. Hopefully it shows up. Yeah, Los Angeles, which is a city in California, but it isn't the capital, which is also home to Hollywood and located close to Beverly Hills. And it has a GDP of $755 billion, which is pretty good. And this is LA. And then there's Hollywood, where lots of movies are made, and then it's where reality is broken and shattered. So these next 2 are very have beaten these by tons. We're gonna start with NYC, or New York City, or the Big Apple. It's coming in at number 2. And I can't believe on this list we've only had 2 things from the last episode. Surprised. So New York has so many things to do, I'm not going to list them all. There's the Empire State Building. Well, that's a building. There's the Statue of Liberty. There's lots of buildings to see, like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building. And then there's also Central Park. And I could go on forever, but I'm not. Has a GDP of $1,210 billion, which is really good. And this was on our honorable mention from the last video. And it is located in U.S., and so is L.A. New York is in New York, and it is not the capital. Albany is. But New York City is also has a lot of islands, like Long Island, and then also have places like Staten Island, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. I could go on forever again, but we have to get into our honorable mention, which is Rhine-Ruhr. You might not be familiar with this, but it has a great GDP. Rhine-Ruhr, Germany. And even if you look on a map, it's not going to show you Rhine-Ruhr. But is urban. Oh, that's too small. Let me get a good picture of Rhine-Ruhr. No, too small. Here, this one. That's good. So here's Rhine-Ruhr. Rhine-Ruhr has, or some people just call it Ruhr, has a GDP of $485.2 billion, which is really good for not a very known city. And at least that's what I saw on Wikipedia. And some people think it's a megacity. As it says here, is Rhine-Ruhr a megacity? Some people think it is. Some people think it isn't. Maybe if you ask a German, they'll probably know. So we're gonna come into number one, and this city, I'm gonna give you a quick hint. This city is in number one in a lot of things. I just want you to make a quick prediction and put it in the comments section now. And it is Tokyo, which is the biggest city in the world by population, has about 36 million. I told you that last episode. So out of the 11 list things, only 4 were on the previous episode. And Tokyo's GDP is $1,520 billion. And I love, my favorite picture of Tokyo is this picture. I explained it to you last week. All the grays and the blacks and the browns. And then there's oh crap, what did I do? And then there's the Tokyo Tower. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future videos, and I will see you in the future episode of the top 10. See ya.